A house, is it an asset or a liability? Should you buy a house right now? Watch this video and you'll know the answer. Before we start, please subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click the bell button to turn on the notifications, because more incredible content is on the way. Okay, let's get started. First of all, if you buy a house because your wife wants one, just turn off this video and buy one. If you want to make a rational financial decision, let's dive in. Before answering these questions, we must know what is an asset and what is a liability. An accounting professor will tell you that an asset can be thought of as something that can generate positive cash flow in the future. In contrast, a liability is something that can generate negative cash flow in the future. That means if it's putting money in your pocket, it's an asset. If it's taking money away from your pocket, it's a liability. So a house, is it an asset or a liability? First, we need to know the use of the house. For example, Donald Trump developed a building in New York City named Trump Tower. Many stores signed a lease for the lower levels shopping area, and the tower also attracted many rich and famous residents, including Johnny Carson, Sophia Loren, and Steven Spielberg. As a result, in total, Trump received $300 million from it. In this case, the tower was putting the money in Trump's pocket. It's an asset. Another example, Trump bought a beach house with a loan in California for a vacation. In this case, he couldn't receive any rent from it. Instead, he must pay for the mortgage, maintenance fee, property taxes, and insurance, all of which were taking money from his pocket. So the house was a liability. Any investment expert will say, always buy an asset and stay away from a liability. Don't work for the money, let the money work for you. You may say that I own the house and its price keeps rising, which means the value of my property keeps increasing. But if I rent a house and pay monthly payments, in the end, it's still someone else's house. That's why lots of people believe renting is throwing money away. But is this true? First, let's talk about the trends of real estate price. It is true that based on the historical data in the United States, the real estate price index was rising. But let me ask you a question. Can we predict future trends only based on historical data? For example, knowing the historical data of a stock, can we say it will follow the same trend in the future? Absolutely not. If we can, nobody is going to lose money on the stock market. You may say the price of certain stocks are random. If it is the entire country's stock market, the long-term trend is going upward. So the entire country's real estate price is the same. Really, let's take a look at the Japan House Price Index. As you can see, since the real estate bubble burst in the early 1990s, it has been at a stable, low price for 30 years. Another example, this is the UK house price change rate for 30 years. During the 1990 to 1992 and 2008 to 2009 recessions, house prices in the UK fell. Before the recession, housing prices rose much faster than inflation and wages. The economic recession has led to a correction of these housing prices to income ratios. We can't see an upward trend in the chart. On top of that, if the housing construction industry is booming, then any drop in demand could lead to a sharp drop in house prices. Take Ireland as an example. After the credit crunch, the Irish real estate market fell by 50%, much larger than the decline in the UK. So it is irrational to think that the real estate prices will keep rising in the future. You may say that the United States is not Japan nor Europe. No matter how bad the global market is, the trends in the United States must be upward. Well, we assume you're right, but it doesn't mean your house's price will keep increasing. because for a certain area, there are many unpredictable factors that can affect the price. For example, during the epidemic, a large number of workers lost their jobs or worked from home. Some companies even moved their on-site employees to permanent remote positions. Mark Zuckerberg announced that up to half of Facebook's employees could be working remotely in 5 to 10 years. While Jack Dorsey went a step further, giving Twitter employees the option to work from home indefinitely. As a result, employees can live wherever they want. They may leave Silicon Valley and move to somewhere cheaper. It will lead to a decrease in Silicon Valley house prices in the future. The same thing is happening in New York City right now. Real estate prices in Manhattan have fallen sharply. In July 2020, the average sale price of Manhattan houses was $875K, a 48.8% decrease from the same period last year. The average selling price per square foot was $11,900, a decrease of 23.2% from last year. No one knows what will happen tomorrow. There are many special other factors affecting local housing prices, such as how the local main industry is going, the population inflows, and even the rating change of a local high school. There is no guarantee that the house prices show a long-term upward trend after you purchase it. You might think that I never sell my house anyway, so I have no loss when the price drops. Exactly. If the house is not on the market price is meaningless, no matter if it rises or drops. Actually, you will only sell it for a bigger house. If the price of your house increases, the price of bigger house also increases, which means you have to pay more mortgage, maintenance costs, property taxes, and insurance. If you plan to sell your house when you retire and move to a senior center, is your property an asset? Of course, in this case, this property will bring you positive cash flow at the end, but we can't say it's a better choice to buy it than to rent it. We need to calculate it. If you rent a house, save the down payment, interest payments, etc., and invest the money with average compound interest, how much money you can get when you retire, and then compare it with the selling price of the house. I don't want to make this video too long, so we will talk about it in the next video. Please share your opinion about buying or not buying a house in the comments below. If you have any questions, please send us an email to question@beat-math.com. We will try to answer your questions in the next video. See you next time.